Bitcoin shoots upward. We're getting a Shiba token with a 700% gain in October. And we're taking a look at two projects that are set to fly in the upcoming weeks if Bitcoin goes up. So check it out. Hello there everyone, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome to the WhatsNext Community Global Channel, where we're dissecting the crypto market every single day. We give you updates, we give you news, we give you trading techniques, and we give you the best coin picks, like RUNE, for example, which last week did over 90% in gains, which we called on the channel. So congratulations to everyone who caught that trade. And now we're going to look at a new potential setup, and we're going to look at some levels for Bitcoin. So let's take our technical analysis tools and let's see what the market looks like at this moment. So right here we have 52,490. Basically, that's a pullback level that I'm looking at when the market decides to do a very deep pullback. If we start to break under that 50k area, that's when I'll start to turn bearish. So that's when I want to see basically a break under that 50,000, then a retest, right? You go back upwards, and then this would be my point to scale out. Why? Because we could either break further upward then, and then I could scale back in on a higher low, or we can continue downward, right? And I don't want to be in a downward momentum. It's kind of like this move right here, right? Where you're breaking this trend line. Basically, you're getting higher highs, and then a lower high. Then this is my area to get out. And if I'm wrong, maybe I can get in a higher low and minimize the impact of my decision. So that's basically the way I like to trade the markets. And the reason why is very simple, right? The market always moves in stages, right? So whether we're going up or going down, it's always going to go in stages. So basically, if I can enter the market on places like this when it's bullish, and exit on places like this when it's getting bearish, then that minimizes the impact of dynamic management of my portfolio. Dynamic, obviously, meaning that I'll scale in and out of positions in the market. So right now, I'm looking at some levels on the Bitcoin chart, mainly being 64,250. That's the level that we still need to reach, that supply area. And yeah, yesterday I called for not being too cautious, and the reason being because we were walking sideways, right? As soon as you start moving like a crab in the crypto market, that's when you don't get bearish or bullish until you get a sign upwards or a sign downwards, right? So right now we had that move down. I was expecting us to get into this area of demand right here, and that would be my leverage long position if we were to reach it. But for now, I didn't do anything, and I'm still stuck in my positions. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I've seen a good gain today in my crypto portfolio, so that's just nice. So right now we're at an area of a lot of confluence points. So confluence points are basically reasons for something happening over something else, right? So that's what we call in the trading world a confluence point. Now, you will see all these lines on my chart, and basically they're all analysis tools to dissect the market and to see where the volume is going to be located. So right now, you'll see this big red line here. This is the fixed range volume profile. So from here to here, this range right here, it starts here and then it goes from here. This will be the point of control. This is where the most of the volume is traded. So usually you'll see a reaction on the point of control, right? So if we go here around this area, we're consolidating, then we go back, we're retesting it, then we go down, right? So right now, if we go up, it's expected that around this area, we'll get a reaction as well. So I've marked an area right here. The main point I'm looking at is 61,500, because if we take out that high right there and we dip down, that's when we'll start to see a big move towards the downside again, perhaps towards this level right here, or perhaps down towards this demand area right here. So that's the main level I'm looking at right now. If we see a rejection of that high at 61,500, I'll be opening a short position just to protect my spot portfolio. That's the way I like to trade in the markets. Why? Because there's a significant downside to be had right here if we continue to the downside, and I want to protect my portfolio. So rather than scaling out of positions, I'll be shorting the market. And by shorting the market, I have exposure that gains money in the downside. So I try to time those moments as well. All right. Then those are the levels I'm looking at for Bitcoin. We can delete this one because we've already reached it. And yeah, upstairs right here, you'll have 63,500. Can also be an interesting area, but I'd love to see 64 to 50 being hit. And of course, we still have our demand right here and demand right here. So those are areas I'm also looking. Okay, that was Bitcoin. I hope you can perhaps just copy the levels, see what happens. Usually they're pretty accurate. So yeah, I hope this helps with your analyses. Now, this is a trade that we've been calling in our Dutch premium Discord. So this is wootrade. And wootrade is one of those coins that is still very undervalued in my opinion. Why? Because they're one of the biggest exchanges in terms of volume. So a lot of volume is happening at this exchange. And yeah, the price just hasn't really shown it yet, right? We can see that it has absolutely skyrocketed from the start of this year with a gain, I would say around, yeah, basically a 60x. So it's pretty significant gain. So what I want to see in these kinds of products, right, is because the 60x happened from here to here, right? Now, then we went to the downside. We got all the way back to 28 cents. That means that we have around 80% correction, right? So now, after that correction, we started to form a cup right here. So now we are back at the all-time high again. And that tells me that everyone who wanted to sell beforehand now has sold their positions, right? Because why wouldn't you sell it if you're already back at that all-time high position? So then you start to form a cup pattern right here, make a nice handle, and then you can blast towards the upside, right? So that's why I really like wootrade for the upcoming month. And I'm taking a position in this pair right here because in my opinion, this was like the handle, right? This small pullback that we see right here. And now we're consistently seeing rejection in these wicks. So I think it can just shoot towards the upside, towards the discovery zone. And yeah, that will just be an amazing trade in my opinion. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm still watching RUNE as the second one because yeah, even though we did 97% in a week, I still think there's more upside to be had for this coin just because of the potential it has, the distance to the all-time high, and the role that it fills in the market. Now, if you want to know more about RUNE, then I'd highly suggest to watch the video, the fundamental analysis that we made about RUNE. So those were the projects I was looking at. Those were the things that I was watching in the market. And those were the price points I had for Bitcoin. So I hope you're better prepared in the market, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, everyone.